Before we start with today's video, you can help support this channel by sending me commissions at very low prices. If you're interested or have questions, you can DM me here on Twitter, or you can contact me on Discord. My Discord is Starzy at 7488. So if you're interested, be sure to contact me. The only payment method I accept is Cash App. But with that being said, let's get started with the video. Alright, it's been 7 months since I've uploaded a Pretty Cure Gaming video, but now that I have the stuff that I need for the Pretty Cure games, why fight fate? You heard me going through on and on about me going through all the 3DS games, being the first one to actually play through the 3DS games, but unfortunately, someone actually beat me to it. Someone actually uploaded the entire playthrough of Smile Pretty Cure, so I was really, while I was a bit disappointed, it was okay. I can still be the second person to actually do a playthrough of this game, but I'm gonna be the first to do a commentary let's play of this game, so ha! But anyways, I wanted to make this intro to tell you that the Pretty Cure let's plays are now continuing on now that I have what I need. I have the Citra 3DS emulator as well as OBS, so now that I can actually screen record my whole laptop. So now that we got everything that we need, let the Pretty Cure Let's Plays continue. Gokigenyo everyone, the Starlight Let's Player is here, and ladies and gentlemen, the Pretty Cure Let's Plays are continuing. Yes, today we're finally, after all these years, we are finally going to be doing the Let's Play of Smile Pretty Cure Let's Go Marchen World. Now, this game was released on August the 2nd of 2012, and just like the previous games, this one is not only a minigame collection, but now this is also what I believe to be a rhythm game as well. So yeah, basically, before getting into the game, you have to basically just set your age, I believe. Well, not your age, but actually your actual birthday. So my birthday is June the 14th, which is coming up in like a few days. So yeah, I don't know what to actually have planned for I guess for my birthday. Like I said, I might do a birthday Q&A, but I'm probably gonna go out. But anyway, this is a Smile Pretty Cure, the video game. After Smile, we got 3 more DS games. Now, if you saw at the beginning, of this video, I did say that I finally able to get Citra, which was actually a 3DS emulator and the only working 3DS emulator, and I basically got it on my laptop. So now I'm able to record. 3DS gameplay, especially now that I have OBS. So yeah, and yeah, let's get into this. So let's actually get into the game. So basically, to give you the tutorial of the actual Smile Pretty Cure's hideout, which is basically you have 3 sections of the hideout. You have the actual table, you have the desktop. I won't say the desk, but it's an actual desk, and you also have a library of books, and that's where we get into that. So basically, all the Smile Pretty Cure, all the members of the Smile team are actually explaining not just the structure of the house on where the cures are, not where the cures are, but I can't really read this Japanese, okay. They're basically just giving a tutorial on how you actually work the certain modes while here. You have the library, and you have upstairs. Well, yeah. So basically, we're gonna start with the fairy tale type of thing. So you basically actually have the mode to where you actually pick a book and go through the actual story. It has 2 stories and 2 minigames to go through. So I chose Miyuki, and I decided to go with the Peter Pan book because in one episode during their school trip, she did admit it that she has a crush on Peter Pan. So I figured, why not just go for it? And I'm gonna have, I'm gonna be 100% on this game. This is easily a mediocre type of video game that I've played. It's not on the level of, it's not really on the level of Heart Catch. It's not really as bad as Yes Whitaker 5, but it's just decent. It's just okay. And this is gonna be yet another short playthrough to go through. But I'm sure we can get through. I'm sure once we're gonna get to the last 2 games, which is actually way better. But yeah, this is the actual game. This is this is the story mode. Okay, I wouldn't say the story mode, but this is actually the fairy tales. You choose, like I said, you choose which book you want to go through the story for. And like I said, there are 2 minigames, but we have to go through 2 stories. So yeah, it's kind of like a minigame collection, except in order to experience these minigames, you have to go through some of the actual some of the actual fairy tales. And we're going through the Peter Pan one. The next one we'll go through in part 2 will be the story of the rabbit and, well, the turtle and the tortoise and the hare. I'm not too familiar with the fairy tale type of lore. I mean, I've heard of these fairy tales like Peter Pan, but I'm not sure if I'm not really sure if I would actually if I actually watched the actual movie or read the book. I'm not too familiar with Peter Pan, but hey, though there are fairy tales I'm pretty familiar with. I am familiar with Tinkerbell. That's one thing that I'm familiar with. So I did get my thoughts on the actual show, Smile Pretty Cure. When I did my video, The Cure March Madness, I did stated that Smile Pretty Cure was my 8th favorite Pretty Cure season, and after watching Tropical Rouge, I think it might have just dropped down to my 9th. Like, it's not to say Smile Pretty Cure is bad or anything. It's a good season, but it does have its problems. One of the main problems will be the plot device, the cures. I do wish they were handled a bit more better, because they collected all of them that they needed, which I believe was yeah, they collected every single one, but after they defeated the incomplete King Period, all of a sudden now they decided to add new cures to the actual set, and it's just a way to like stretch out the story. Like, I wish they could have planned it a bit better, so that way we can actually have a legit like 48 episode type of thing. Yes, Smile Pretty Cure is 48 episodes, and I've reviewed 8 of those episodes, which, well, 9 of the episodes, 8 of them being focused on Cure March, and the 9th one being the Christmas episode. Well, I would say I didn't really review that one. My girlfriend Oliver reviewed it, and which, by the way, I'll try to get him on in part 2. Like I said, I'll try to get him in part 2, cause he's actually a big fan of Smile Pretty Cure. That is his favorite season. And yeah, also I keep mentioning, he is the person who has been helping me, who has been giving me all of the Pretty Cure video games. So if it weren't for him, these playthroughs wouldn't be possible. So, yeah. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, like I said, you can check out my Dream Stars podcast and my Let's Play of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You'll know who I'm talking about. But anyways, we got a minigame to go through. So in this minigame, this is basically a puzzle minigame. You basically have to set the directions of the puzzle to the exact place, and there you go. And, it's not. I will say, even though I don't think this game is that great, but it's a. I would say it's a game that I'm sure kids can actually get into. I'm sure it's a game that kids from I would say 7 to 12 year olds can get into. And there's the last puzzle. There's the last puzzle with this time with Peter Pan. And I think there's one the main thing that really ruins the experience for me is the repetition. You'll see once we go through this playthrough. But yeah, once you complete a minigame, you unlock a decor. And we got the frog decor. Though I will say this, I do like how whenever they use the decors in order to help them out in certain situations. I believe in what I remember one of the episodes where they used the umbrella decor to try and fly their way out of the classroom, trying to get the candy so that they can be turned back to normal when they were shrunken by Majorina's shrinking hammer. Which, by the way, she has the worst way of naming her inventions, for them, but I will give her credit that they do work against the cures. I will say, if you're watching this, type down in the comments on what is your favorite fairy tale to read and how did you get into it. I do wish they could have added Cinderella onto the default list of books to actually play through. Cause I would say that would, cause I I do think Cinderella is a it's not only a good fairy tale, but it was also a good movie too. But yeah, Smile Pretty Cure was a good season. I did enjoy the ending theme of Smile Pretty Cure, which is the first one. Yeah, the actual first open ending theme. In the open in the opening theme is nice. It's alright. I did enjoy Aya Ikeda's contribution to the song. And I I know people were expecting Smile Pretty Cure to like be the next season, to be the season to collaborate with Delicious Party for the next crossover movie. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm curious to see. So in the off chance that Delicious Smile do get a crossover movie, I will be curious as to what team will they actually add to it. Who knows? They might use they. I really don't see them bringing Maho Girls back because they've already done it with Kira Kira. They have already done with Kira Kira, so possibly either they've already done Hard Catch, so possibly either maybe Splash Star or Gold Princess, because I don't see them using any of the other recent recent teams. Or who knows, maybe Happiness Charge if they actually if Happiness Charge ever get a crossover with any of the new teams, I would be delighted to see that. And speaking of Happiness Charge, I might start the next I'll probably start the next part 3 in July, seeing that I already have plans for June. For example, this playthrough and another playthrough that I will not mention here, but it will be coming up probably tomorrow. Either tomorrow or Sunday. But I want to make sure these videos actually take the time to get them more views. If you haven't watched part 1 and part 2 of my Happiness Charge for the Q review, I suggest you check those videos out. But anyways, we finally got into the we finally finished the second story, the second part of the story. So now it's time to complete the second minigame. And this is another thing I don't get. So you basically have to put the ribbon onto the smile pack in order for any cure to transform. So for instance, I'm doing this with Miyuki and she's transforming into Cure Happy, which I honestly don't understand why they would have to be in their cure forms for this. I'm guessing it's a way to just, I don't know, I'm guessing just a way to boost sales. I'm not sure, but I wish they would have done I wish they would actually make it so that we actually do give a damn about, so it can actually make sense. But anyway, we're on to the next minigame, and this one is actually a memorization game. You essentially have to keep your eye on the right card, and because they will shuffle the cards around and you have to make sure you pick the right one. So for instance, you have to get 3 Peter Pans. If you get 3 the pirates, you lose the minigame. And I don't know what happens if you lose the minigame, because I haven't really fucked up on any of these minigames. But you tap on the Peter Pan, and you have to keep your eye on that specific card as they shuffle them around. Do this 3 times, and you complete the minigame. But seriously though, does Miyuki really have to be in her cure form for this? I feel like if they want to put the cure forms in the game, the least they could have done is actually add actual boss fights into the game, like them facing up against damn, it's been a while. I can't remember the exact names of these enemies. But I wish they could add the MOTW from Smile onto the game so that we can actually fight them. Fresh Pretty Kid did it. And they even added a secret fight against Toy Majin. And then the Sweet, they've also done it too. So once you complete the minigame, you essentially have to keep tapping. You essentially have to keep tapping the smile pack in order to or just tap the whip, or just tap the Sigma in order to in order to charge up Cure Happy's attack, which is the Happy Shower. And there we have it. We have yet another decor pack, another decor added to the collection. And there we go. We've completed the Peter Pan story. And by the way, I apologize for the slow frame rate drops. I'm recording this off my laptop. I'm using the OBS to record, the screen record, so that, and like I said, my laptop not the best to use with 60 frames per second, but it's manageable. And so the pirate heads off. But yeah, this game is alright. I don't sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they'll ever make another pretty good game, but if they do, who knows? Though if they actually do, I'm hoping they actually make a another All-Stars video game. Cause the Pretty Cure dancing game on the Wii, from what I've seen, it's okay, but like, I do wish they could have added more to Fresh Pretty Cure songs, especially considering Fresh Pretty Cure is all about dancing. Plus, I wish I could do a playthrough of that, but first of all, I don't have a modded Wii, and I don't have it, and if I did, I don't have a modded Wii, and I don't have it region free, so I can't really do that. And second of all, even if I were, the last thing I want is for the video to be copyrighted, which is why I didn't really show off the Smile Pretty Cure, which is why I didn't show the opening for the Smile Pretty Cure video game, because I get this feeling that the video might get nuked, which is so. And I will say, like, none of my part 1 videos that has the actual openings, none of them has actually gotten a copyright claim, so I'm grateful for that. So yeah, this was part 1 of Smile Pretty Cure Let's Go Marchen Land. I'm not looking too forward into this game, but like I said, it's not on the level of bad as Hard Catch Pretty Cure or Yes Pretty Cure 5. Those were pretty bad, with Yes Pretty Cure 5 being the worst one. Easily the worst Pretty Cure game I've ever played. But still, but still, it's not so bad. Once I get, it's not really a bad game. Will I ever do a playthrough of? Will I ever do? Will I ever do the Game Boy Advance? Will I ever do the games on the Game Boy Advance? I'll probably do the Max Heart one if I ever get a decent Game Boy Advance emulator on my laptop, because I would get it on my phone, but the controls, it does require to use the button controls, and I would rather use an actual controller in order to get through it. But yeah, this was part 1 of Smile Pretty Cure. Let's go Marching Land. Stick around for part 2 as we pick our next cure to do the story of the rabbit and the turtle. So yeah, until then, Starlight Let's Player signing out. As always, Goki Genyo, and have a startastic day, everyone.
I knew I would fulfill my dream, yeah. They knew I started from the bottom, now I made it, yeah. The possibilities are endless, yeah, I say, yeah. I got the roots and I got everything I need, yeah. And now I'm chilling with a pretty gentle lady, yeah. She got a kinda gentle personality, yeah. She got them curvy hips and a booty for booty.